Because I've never been divorced. So this is all new to me, bro. I've already been threatened to be sued for defamation and using a likeness and using a certain person's name. But if I can make a little bit of this world better, or if I can help somebody else who's struggling with anxiety, depression, or grief, it's worth it. It's worth it if I save a life or get somebody treatment. Well, if you've been following my story, I've actually had a pretty incredible day today. Now, most people would think like being served divorce papers isn't a good day. But you know what? It was a good day for me because that dude let me film it. For the purposes of this series, I've already been threatened to be sued for defamation and using a likeness and using a certain person's name. So, for this documentary series, we don't even have to refer to her as a woman. I don't care. For the sake of this series, I'm making a decision right now. For the sake of this series, when I refer to my soon-to-be ex-wife, you can picture a man named Jack. I don't care. We'll call him Jack of Ass, okay? That's the official name, Jack of Ass. But anyways, I showed up early, and I decided to film because I was bored. I had my camera with me, so why not? And it just so happens that his office is right near these 3 smokestacks that are very prominent in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. And when my dad used to live on Harvard Street, we could look out the window and see those. And he would always refer to them as those pipes from Super Mario Brothers. So just seeing those pipes, those smokestacks from the old rundown, dilapidated GE building, I'm again brought back nostalgia from my childhood. Playing Nintendo, Super Mario Brothers with my dad on Harvard Street, looking out the window at those pipes. It's a good thing I did, because if I hadn't gotten my camera out, I would have never got this footage here. All right, so what exactly am I signing here? I know you're not a lawyer, but...
Yeah, I am not an attorney. I'm a private investigator, and I'm just handing you over some papers that I was requested to deliver to you. It is a summons and complaint along with an order of protection regarding
Jack of Ass. Now, am I signing anything away today?
You're not signing anything away. You are just signing the fact that I have handed you these papers.
Okay.
That is it. As far as what's in these papers,
it's honestly, none of your business, right?
None of my business.
Because I've never been divorced. So this is all new to me, bro.
So never been married, so never been divorced.
Now, since he is a private investigator, he doesn't want his face shown or his name known. But what started out as a conversation about being served and what I'm actually signing, the conversation shifted. And something compelled me to ask him. I have one last question to you. As a person, not as a server, not as a... Yeah. When was the last time you paid a stranger a compliment? Now, I expected some sort of response right away, like, I can't remember, or, last year, or a month ago, yesterday, today. but he's had to sit and think about it. And I'm not putting words in his mouth, but I think he lied.
A stranger a compliment. Actually, I think a couple of weeks ago.
Do you feel like people are kind of getting disconnected from each other?
Oh, I think people are very disconnected. I think a lot of it happened after COVID, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's been slowly declining, but yeah, I can agree with that.
I think people, it changed the world quite
So
a bit.
part of this documentary is getting to know people, getting to know strangers, and just saying, hey, if you're struggling with something, I'm here to help. If you're not, you're just part of my story.
Right. I try to, for the most part, mind my own business and do my work and get on with my day.
Before I left that office, I actually gave the guy some homework. So the last thing I'll just encourage you, after we leave this, just pay someone a compliment.
Fair enough.
A stranger. You don't even have to, doesn't even have to be anything amazing. Just talk to someone that you've never talked to before. Because that's what I've started doing, and I've met some amazing people since I've been in town. Now that sounds crazy, that sounds insane, but I have a story about this hat right here. I've never owned a hat like this. I've never wanted a hat like this. It's one of them cigar hats. I was a frequent shopper in this CBD shop, and the guy behind the counter was wearing this same hat. And I loved it. It looked good on him. He has darker skin than me, so a hat like this color would look better on him. It looks stupid on me, so it's just display. But all I did was simply compliment his hat. And he had more under the counter, gave one to me for free. And that was what really sparked this whole journey of getting to know the human race. So this week I continued to talk to strangers, which some people are a bit standoffish, but nobody has not responded. Does that make sense? So I was in a retail store that sells these little tchotchkes and stuff because I'm trying to build this new set here at my dad's house. And I saw this little family, okay? This little boy and girl and dad and mom. And I had my camera with me. I didn't want to leave it in the car. The camera was off while I was shopping. But they were kind of like really excited to approach me, but were kind of scared because they wanted to know why I had the camera, what I was doing and stuff. So I saw that they wanted to talk to me, but they were scared. So I approached the family. I talked to them. I told them what I was doing at the store. I was trying to find little nicky-nacky stuff for my new set. And they actually helped me pick some of this stuff out. So the little girl picked out this little Tender Heart bobblehead Care Bear, which was perfectly fitting because, hey, I'm Tender Heart. I'm Tender Heart to the max, bro. The little boy picked out these gremlins. And you know what? We had fun. We had fun. They were strangers. They took a chance to talk to a stranger, and we had a freaking blast. And if you guys are watching this video, they made it into the video, guys. If I can get them to stand up, they will be standing up later in the video. I continued to have this experience the rest of the day, okay? I went to another store, and I was looking at posters. And I saw another person that looked like they were kind of a YouTube enthusiast. A nerd, you know. A nerd that watches a lot of YouTube. So I had them pick me out a couple posters. She picked me out this Beetlejuice poster. And this one I haven't figured out where I'm going to hang it yet. But it's very fitting. Because my sister was a huge Strawberry Shortcake fan. So these are the vibes. These are the vibes. These are the journeys I'm going on. And that's not it. This was all in one plaza, by the way. I went to the grocery store because I needed to get a couple items. And by chance ran into my uncle that I haven't seen in years. Years. He didn't recognize me, but I recognized him right off the bat, and I said, "Hey," called him by his name, "give me a hug right now." He looked at me pretty weird because my family don't usually hug, let alone hug a stranger. So I get a kick out of this because I kept asking him to give me a hug. I was challenging his humanity. Anyways, to finally get him to recognize me, I had to take off my hat and reveal my family trait. And once I did that, he recognized me off the bat. But see, these are the little things. Now, I do feel stupid. I feel absolutely stupid. I don't know if you guys saw my last video, but it was dark. It was super dark. Like, I've got the lighting kind of figured out now. But my dad is friends with this woman who I swore he told me she had a daughter that was a photographer. And I was struggling with lighting. And I was like, oh, this is another one of those signs. I need to contact this woman and ask her if her daughter's available to help me light this set. This was after 10 o'clock at night, by the way. Like, when I get these thoughts or I get these urges, like, okay, something's leading me to this person, I have to act immediately. So some people are probably annoyed that I message them a lot, but I don't care. I truly feel like certain people are leading me to certain things, and I'm just following it. But anyways, needless to say, her daughter has never been a photographer and never wanted to be a photographer. Now, the absolute crazy thing about this is, on my way to go get my papers for my divorce, which I had no plans of driving down this road this morning, I swear I saw her out walking her dog this morning. So last night I had it in my mind, okay, there's no way there's something connected. You know what I'm saying? But then I see her again this morning. I have no idea why. I was in the process of doing this back where I came from. I'm not going to say where because I don't want to be fucking sued. But I basically had to start from scratch. Like, I was already starting to build my set back home. But due to circumstances, I felt the need to get 12 hours away from that place. When you move that far away from everything you've ever known, it can be very isolating, especially when you're dealing with death, tragedy, substance abuse, depression, anxiety. You can't just drive to your familiar place that you drove to when you were a kid. You can't go to that little familiar restaurant down the street that you know is there and it's safe. You can't drive around at old places and look at your old high school and have memories. You're truly a stranger in the city you live in. And I got seriously disconnected from the human race. My family, my friends, everybody. I want to make sure that when I go to my grave, I don't have a single regret. But if I can make a little bit of this world better, or if I can help somebody else who's struggling with anxiety, depression, or grief, it's worth it. It's worth it if I save a life or get somebody treatment. And I have to worry about being sued? I'm trying to do a good thing here. I'm not normally an angry person. I'm just very passionate. And I don't like people to wrong other people. And I just want to touch on race for a minute because I had a thought last night. I understand that it's not color, it's not race, it's culture. It's fucking culture. I don't know why people don't understand that. If you grew up in a pack of wolves, you're going to act like a fucking wolf. If you grow up in a mansion with everything handed to you, you're going to act like a fucking snob. Color don't matter.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Now, please, like I asked you, pay someone a compliment.
Will do.
Because they might pay someone else a compliment. It's a butterfly effect.
Agreed.